Thank you, Nadine. And welcome to On the Rock Theater News. We have just received word that an emergency demolition project downtown has been accelerated and is causing a traffic nightmare. We go live now to Susan Sensible out in the field. Susan, are you there?
Yes, Wolf. I have here with me Mr. Benedict Brett Barnes, owner and operator of Crops R Us. Mr. Barnes?
Just call me Biggie, man.
Okay, Mr. Biggie. Can you tell us why this project has begun so suddenly?
Well, it's been a banner year here at Crops R Us, and we're hoping to make our corporate growth match up to our long-term projections. Yee-haw!
Mr. Barnes?
Just call me Biggie.
Just answer the question, please, in English. Why do this project now?
I reckon I wanted bigger barns, like my name, Biggie!
Well, that's understandable, I guess. But this isn't a construction project. This is exactly the opposite. You're tearing down perfectly good barns, aren't you?
Yes, Susan, we are, but we need them bigger. At Crops R Us, we like to do things in a tremendous big way. That's why they call me Biggie. That's my nickname. Get it?
Biggie. Right. You mentioned that. But wouldn't it just be easier to build additional barns instead of tearing down perfectly good ones?
Susan, we don't think small in our company. I built this company so I could eat, drink, and have a good time. You know, the early bird catches the fish, the cat pull the cat by the horns out of the bag. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, no, actually, I don't know. But anyways, let's backtrack for a moment. You said that you're in this company to have, and I quote, a great time. But with all your efforts expanding Crops R Us, how do you have time for friends?
Friends? Who needs any friends? All they do is want to eat my food, borrow stuff off me, they're varmints.
And your family?
I sent them down Main Street yesterday. I haven't seen them since.
Okay, let's recap. You are so busy tearing down perfectly good barns that you don't have time or room for friends and family?
You got it. I'm an entrepreneur. Mr. Biggie, the entrepreneur.
I honestly don't know how you got a permit.
I'm Biggie.
Well, Splitzer, back to you.
Ah, you think my barns are big? You should see my house. Biggie!
Thank you, Susan, for that stimulating, if not thoroughly confusing report. We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming.
We know how this ends, right? Is Biggie... Don't do that, please. Is Biggie ever going to finish building those barns? No. He doesn't realize that God has more in mind for his stuff than just storing it away in some big old barn. And Biggie was really confused, wasn't he? All he could think was mine, mine, mine. But do you know who owns everything? God does. So it's a little bit silly for us to go around calling it ours, right? This is the story of a man who's let his things take over his life. And who does he have to share his riches with? No one. And our bottom line this week is, don't let things become more important than people. Do you want to say that with me? Don't let things become more important than people. That's good. And you know what happens when we realize that the things we have aren't for us, but for what God wants to use them for? God says that he will bless us with even more. Besides, what fun is it to have all kinds of cool stuff if you don't have anyone around to